Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 88 of a year of change. Today, being Wednesday, is another sort of snack day. I'm going to do something a little bit different on this one though. I know that generally these have sort of been steering towards finding an alternative to that sort of, I don't know, I was going to say midday craving, but snacking really is just all the time. And we sort of touched on stuff on Monday where we were talking about that mindless eating where we're just eating to eat, whether or not we're enjoying it or whether or not we're actually hungry. And I think snacking is sort of a big part of that. So that's why we've sort of focused on that each week. We did the dates and the frozen grapes and what was the other one? Well, it's not just snacks, I suppose, because we did fiddleheads, we did adults, which is sort of a snack. And the other one, which of course we all remember, was what was the other one? I don't remember it at all. Anyway, I remember the dates. I remember... Oh, apples. Jeez. Apples. There we go. Fuji apples. I'm sure I'm missing one as well. Anyway. So we're going to sort of continue in that vein. But this week sort of has a theme to it, which is kind of strange. Because where we were talking at the beginning of the week about just eating food just because it's there. And then I have something related to today for Friday. If I seem a little distracted, you'll understand in a second why. And so I thought today would be something a little bit different. This isn't exactly an alternative for snacking. It's just something that I've wanted to try for a while and just never really had the guts to do. So, anyway, it's sort of a bit of a novelty, I guess. I probably should have saved this for a milestone, like day 100 or something. But I figure I might as well do it now, instead of just having sort of a, yay, this is day 100 milestone sort of thing. So, again, I warned you at the beginning of the week, and Friday you should have a little warning as well. If you're a little squeamish, this is probably not going to be a good video for you to watch. Anyway, there are a number of different things that we've looked at for snacking, and I've got something already set for next week, which is going to be much, much better. And I thought about doing that this week as well. But there is a store where I live that is basically like the main candy store. You can get pretty much anything there. And it's stuff that you haven't seen in 20 or 30 years. For some reason, they bring everything in, and it's more of a nostalgia thing than anything else. I've only been in there twice. Once, and I just bought jelly beans, and then the other time was earlier on this week when I bought these. And this is what we're going to be looking at today. And again, this is not an permanent alternative for snacking. It's just something that I've wanted to try. And I figure, what better way to try it than in front of you good people? So, to start, I've got two different things here. The first one is this. These are worms. These are actual, well, they're called larvettes, I guess. And they're just like little grubby mealworm things. This is going to make sense at the end when we talk about a few things. So I'm going to try these, but there are also these. And these are little crickets. So it's something that we talked about. I've said this before, actually. We've talked back and forth so many times. I've talked about this before, that it's good to try something new once or twice to see if you like it. I have never tried these. But I've heard people talk about them. I've heard people have tried them, and they're like, they aren't bad, considering it's an insect. Right now, the thing that worries me most is the fact that these are sour cream and onion flavored, which I'm not a big fan of. Never have been. And these are barbecue. I'd rather just sort of taste the regular one. So we shall try these. But as I said, this is sort of a bit of a novelty thing. Obviously, these are not going to be my go-to choice for snacking. But it's something different. And I can't remember if I talked about the century egg before or not. I've talked about it to a bunch of different people. So it's fine to try new things even if you don't think that you like it. With these, like, this is really out there though. So we're going to try one and see what it's like. So forgive the crinkly bits. Now, the reason why I'm trying these now is that it's just sort of an odd week where we're talking about eating just anything and everything. I really should be saving this for a milestone one, because now I'm getting cold feet. But Friday's documentary is sort of related to this. And not in a, oh, let's just watch everybody eat bugs, but sort of a, hey, let's watch everybody eat bugs kind of way. So, I'm wondering if I should just try one to see if it's good or not. Whoop, that one fell on the floor. That's no good. Oh, and now I have a handful. Okay. I'm going to try one to start with. They're very slippery. So there are now 2 on the floor. And we'll just go from there. So, all right. So here's one. They are really slippery. I don't know if that's the coating on it or what. But not a big fan of barbecue either. So you shall try. They just taste like Cheetos. Like, not the Cheetos, but the... Oh, what are the word? Those things. They taste like those. They do. They just taste like little... Maybe they're all gooey. Ew. No, they just taste like sort of bland Cheetos. Like hickory Cheeto things. Maybe that's the barbecue sauce on them. Or barbecue sauce. The powdery stuff. Anyway, yeah, they just taste like Cheetos. There's nothing special to them. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit different. I just realized I'm eating worms, but yeah, they just taste like those little corn twisty things. They're not worth the $4 I paid because they're very, very tiny, but it's interesting. It's something different. They're kind of flaky and a little bit everywhere, which is kind of weird. So now we will try a cricket. These ones, I really suspect they were going to be like bitter. I kind of expected that from the worms as well. I don't know what you would expect from worms, how they taste. I mean, there are a ton of people that have tried these before as well, but it's just one of those things I've watched other people try, and they're like, it tastes like chicken. It doesn't taste like chicken at all. They just taste like barbecue Cheetos. Actually, you know what? If I had my choice between... That was the other snack food that made me angry. If I had my choice between those Snap Pea Cheeto ripoff things and these, I probably would pick these. They taste a little bit better. They aren't as greasy. This one, now that they just look like little tiny Cheetos as well. Like they're just little itty bitty ready to go. They're inside the thing. As you can see, I will hold that up for you again. You could disguise them as Cheetos. These obviously are bugs. So there you go. And now the color's all wonky on the monitor. So, oh dear. Okay, so this one is going to be a little tougher to get around because there's now bug parts. And it's very clearly a bug. So, do I start with a drumstick? What do I do? There we go. It's an entire cricket. No, this one's going to be weird. I'm going to try to get rid of as much of the sour cream and onion stuff on there as I can because I don't really want to taste it. Not a big fan of sour cream and onion stuff. I'm sure it's done to mask the flavor of this, but this is technically, because a worm isn't really an insect, this is technically my first insect ever. So, and they taste like nothing. I can sort of taste sour cream and onion, but they don't really taste like anything. That's weird. This is kind of disappointing. This is a non-event. I was kind of hoping I could say, oh, these taste delicious, or they taste like something else. But I'm eating bugs, and they taste like... They don't even have a really strong sour cream and onion flavor to them. They just... I don't know. I kind of like these better than the worms. Anyway, that was it. This is sort of a... I'm wondering if some of you are thinking, oh god, he's eating bugs. And yes, I am. I'm eating bugs. Get a closer look at it if you want. But it's not like they're very dry, obviously. I'm not brave enough to try like a big creamy one. Thank you very much. But they are kind of dry, but they're not. They're not disgusting. If they were cheaper, I was gonna say I would buy them again, but you know what? I really don't know if I would. It's just one of those things that it's like I say, it's a bit of a novelty. But I don't know if you would want to try it regularly. For any of you out there that are braver than me and decide to try this upon first viewing it, yeah, if you can find them somewhere, try them. I'm sure they have different flavors and stuff like that. Of course, for me, I think probably part of the problem is that I would rather them have salt and vinegar, which would be really good, or just regular flavored ones. But they're different. They aren't bad. If I don't know if you would want like a handful while you're watching a movie, but if someone was to give you some of these or give me some of these, yeah, I'd eat them again. So just to put it in perspective, I'll probably finish these packs at some point. Here we go. Just hold them up again. I don't know what other flavors they would have, but I'm sure that there's a website somewhere, and if there is, I'll put it in the description below so you can take a look at them anyway. So if you can't get them, you might be able to order them. I don't know if you have to order like a whole pallet because they had them in a box, and these were like $4 for just a little tiny itty bitty package. But they're low in fat, which makes sense because they're bugs, and 9 calories per container. So if you're watching your weight, eat more bugs. Anyway, this is sort of off from what we normally do. And like I say, this is not something that you should say, this is what you should be eating now instead of chips. But the reason why I did that is because on Friday, the documentary I have, makes it sound like I actually made it. The documentary I found actually concentrates more on how people are sort of in the majority of the world don't eat the same stuff we do. That we're fine with eating a lot of regular animals, what we would consider regular animals, like cows and chickens and stuff like that. But for the vast majority of the world, they have a lot of stuff out there that they don't have the arable land to raise the cattle. They don't have the feed. They don't have the opportunity. So they eat a lot of insects. And which I think is it's an interesting documentary to watch. Because they've also said that because of how we produce food here, that we use up a tremendous amount of resources just to get 1 pound of meat out. And I'm not bad-mouthing meat. Don't worry. If you're a vegetarian or vegan or whatever you are, go to it. But I still eat meat. It's just that when they compare it to how they raise insects for food, it's just minuscule amounts of resources that they need. Barely any water. They can pretty much just go leave it out in the rain. And instead of having to have like 10 acres of land for a cow, they just have like a little box for bugs, and they just keep them going. So I thought it was very interesting. So I'm sort of jumping ahead. I know I should be saving that part for Friday. But for this, I just sort of wanted to try something a little bit different. Like I say, probably could have waited for a milestone one, but I have no idea what we're going to do for a milestone for day 100, which is less than 2 weeks away. So you've been doing this for 100 days almost, so bravo. We're getting up to day 90, actually. So 3 months. Well done. Anyway, it's something a little bit different. Always encourage people to try different things. So if you do get a chance to try these, even if it's just a matter of grossing out your friends, try it. The worms are just sort of, or you can just buy regular stuff and say the worms are just sort of like unflavored corn twists, and the crickets were just like dry corn twists. They really don't taste like anything. Except that the worms are very slippery. They aren't slimy. I will clarify that. They're dry, but they're very dry actually. I have a wing stuck in my throat. They're very dry, but they're really slick. I don't know if that's because they roasted them or whatever they did to them. Or maybe they just dried them out. But anyway, I ate a bug today. Yay. Which is weird because we've all had that feeling when you're like outside or something and you're talking to a friend, or for those of you that are brave enough that you're running outside and you swallow a bug and immediately you just think, I'm probably going to die. But no, bugs are fine for you. although these are probably not going to be a regular purchase for me. It's a nice one-time thing that I'll try. Maybe at some point, I don't think, I may have talked about Century eggs before. If you get a chance, go look up those. Maybe at some later date, I'll be brave enough to try another one. They're one of those things that you can try and go, yeah, okay, I've tried it. Probably never going to buy it again. These are really dry. That's the worst part about this, I think, is they taste fine. Not really grossed out by any of it, but they're just really, really dry. But anyway, yes, with the 18, these are probably going to be the same thing. I can't imagine that I'm going to be buying these again. Just because, why would you? They're very expensive. They give you very little, nothing. And it's been done now. So, but I probably will finish them off at some point. Oh, I need a drink of water. I have my handy dandy water here, but I don't really want to drink in front of you. So, but I have, and I know that in my head I'm just thinking it's just dry. But now that I'm thinking about it, it might be like a leg stuck in my throat, which is really gross. Anyway, that's it. There's nothing really important that I can contribute to today's video other than this. This was just sort of a one-time thing. I thought I'm going to try these and at least share with you guys. And this isn't something that you obviously would just mindlessly eat. Like, these are delicious. What are they? Oh, God, they're bugs. But it's just where we're sort of touched on trying different things and eating strange foods and things like that. I thought this was rather fitting. So, anyway, I'll put a description, or not a description, but in the description of the video, I'll put a link to their site in case you want to try it yourself. For those of you out there that are going, fuck no. Don't worry, next week we're going to have something that's a little bit better. It's not great, but they were very, very good when I tried them. So, and they're better than probably bugs. Anyway. But for right now, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm going to go get a drink of water. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy and bug-free, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.